Previously, I showed you how to make your existing dumb roller shades smart by adding a stepper motor. On average, it takes about 30 minutes for the conversion. It's a lot faster if you convert them in batches. Today, we will be installing this smart roller shade from Hefen. Now, before buying anything smart, I had to check to make sure it uses an open standard protocol like Zigbee, Z-Wave, or even 433 MHz. I had to make sure it will work with my existing Home Assistant setup. The last thing I want is 10 devices with 10 apps, and none of them talks to each other. ChatGPT said this smart shade with Bluetooth should work with SwitchBot's integration, so I went ahead and bought the smart roller shade. Unfortunately, the AI got it wrong. Upon reading the manual, I see this shade uses the Grey Wind app, which is incompatible with Home Assistant, so I thought maybe it would work with my universal remote from Broadlink, as seen in this previous video. Sadly, it is not compatible with Broadlink. In the back of the remote, it's labeled as 433 MHz, and unfortunately, it's still not compatible when I try to sniff it out as seen in this 433 video. Unbelievable. Moral of the story is that don't trust AI. If you want a roller shade that works with your existing smart home setup, look for anything with Zigbee or Z-Wave. And if we still want to make this smart roller shade work with Home Assistant, we can. Adding relays, as seen in this previous video, will make it work via ESP Home. It won't look nice and pretty, but at least we don't have to use another app or get stuck to another ecosystem. Now for the good news. It took less than 10 minutes to install and start using this smart roller shade. A lot faster than my DIY video. Obviously, this is still more expensive though, at around $120 per shade. The speed at which it lowers or raises the shade is much faster than my shade, but at the same time, the noise is much louder. Inside the box, you got the manual for the remote and another manual for how to install the roller shade. There's the remote, a measuring tape without any numbers, a long, maybe 9 feet USB-C cable. You'll definitely need it to charge up the roller shade because this shade is battery operated. These are the brackets for inside or outside mounts, screws, and some plastic anchors to hold brackets into place. This is super simple and fast to install. The 2 brackets go in first, and then you can see that there's a spring mechanism. The roller shade basically slides into the bracket mechanism and it will stay in place. I'll be drilling into wood, so we'll need these bits and a simple drill. Don't forget your measuring tape to be sure dimensions are correct. My window from the left to the right is 26 inches, and when I measure the product, it is slightly less than 26 inches. There are these 2 slim plastic covers to hide the metal mount. Since I am doing inside mount, I can remove the covers by lifting them up out of the way. I got my pilot hole ready from the edges. From the side to the edge, it's about 4 inches. The manual recommended 5 inches, but 4 inches is more than good enough. From the back side of the window to the front, it's about 1 inch. On the other side, it's exactly the same thing. The back to the front is 1 inch away, and then from the left to the side, it's about 4 inches. The base is now screwed into position with just 1 screw. Make sure that the plastic piece is facing downward and also facing outward. That way you can squeeze it in like so. On the other side, it's the same thing. The plastic white piece is facing downward and outward, so you can squeeze it in like so. With the bracket in place, it's time to clip the roller in. Make sure this small plastic bar is facing outward. You want to hold the roll shades like so. Hook it into the 2 white plastic pieces of the bracket first, and then push it. As you push the shade forward, press up too. It should lock in the front and back clip. Now it's time to cut off this paper. Cut it off, let shade roll down naturally. I should mention that if you ever need to take this down for whatever reason, then you have to push this in and pull it down like so to unhook it from the back clips. This is the inside mount, so it looks nice and flush. But if you ever want to install it on the outside, then the bracket will go in like so, along with this plastic piece sticking out like that. You definitely need the plastic piece to cover up the bare metal of the base. I think it looks so much better with the inside mount. On the left side of the shade, there is this small plastic cover. Just pull it out to wake up the shade. On the bottom of the remote itself, there was a tab to pull out for the remote to work properly. Now, see if it will work. Out of the box, the shade is paired with the remote, and it should start working. Mine did not work because the battery was not charged up. I had to use the included USB-C cord to charge the shade. It's blinking blue to let you know it is charging. Total time from 0 to 100% is about 5 hours, but you can wait about 20 minutes to take control already. While it's charging, we can program the top limits. This smart shade is not smart enough to know when to stop at the top or the bottom. On the remote, press the up or down arrow to get the shade into the top position that you want. Then on the remote, press both the up button and the heart button simultaneously. Do not let go of the two buttons until you hear the roller shade go up, and down. To verify, let's press down on the remote for shades to go down. Now press up to see if the shade will go past the upper limit that we just set. It does not, so that's good. By the way, if this video is helpful, please consider subscribing and liking the video. This lets YouTube know my video is indeed helpful and will recommend to others like yourself. You're going to do the same thing for the bottom limits. While it's going down, the speed is noticeably much faster than my custom roller shade. But at the same time, the noise is much louder. Let's stop it right there. To set the bottom limit, we can do the same thing, but this time it's going to be on the down arrow. Press and hold both the heart button and the down arrow. Do not let go until you hear or see the shade go up, and down. You know, I just realized something. Before you cut the piece of paper that was holding the roller shade in place, you should definitely use a leveler to make sure that everything is leveled out. Here you can see that it is not leveled out. The bubble is all the way to the left. Right here, the bubble is also all the way to the left-hand side, and that's not good. That means that this left side is way higher. We need to add some piece of wood, plastic, or ever washers to shim it to make sure that everything is leveled out. If it's not leveled out, then you'll see that the roller shade has a bias towards the right-hand side, and that's not good. If there is a right bias, the shade will try to go all the way on the right-hand side as it rolls up. It will bunch up all over here, and that will damage the roller shade's edges. Of course, I did not notice there was a bias because I assumed my window frame was level. The right side was damaged, and I cleared some of it by ripping it out. I don't know if you can notice it or not, but some of them are still damaged on the edges. This is the left side after adding shims to it. I basically added washers and some 3D printed junk from my failed 3D prints. If you don't have any 3D printed junk, you can certainly use more washers to lower down as needed. The roller shade is mounted back in. This time I flipped it over, so now the charging port is actually on my right-hand side. This is how I actually prefer it too, because now the shade is pressed up tight against the window. It doesn't matter which way you orient it. Whether this piece right here is facing outwards or facing inwards. Let's verify if there is any bias. Press it up to go up. That's pretty good that there is no bias whatsoever. It's not leaning all the way to the right-hand side, nor is it leaning to the left-hand side. That's exactly what we want. If you cannot shim it for whatever reason, then you can add a little bit piece of tape over here. So for instance, if it went over to the left-hand side too much, then add a little bit piece of tape here. That way it'll try to force more pieces back towards the right-hand side. We do not have any bias at the moment, so there's no need to add tape whatsoever. Let's see how good or bad this shade works with the Gray Wind app. I am biased, and I can tell it's bad already, since I don't want another app on my phone. But we'll proceed just in case you are stuck with the Gray Wind app, or that you don't plan to add more smart devices. This is the Gray Wind app. Download and install it. Click on Open when ready. Click on Agree. Unfortunately, you need to have an account, sign in, or create an account. I'm going to click on Sign Up because I don't have an account. Enter in a working email address. Enter the verification code from the email. Set the password. I'm going to uncheck everything. Click on Go to App. Click on Got It. Add device. Turn on your GPS if it's not already on. Click on Settings. It wants to know your location. Click on Continue. Allow only when using the app. It's going to try to discover a new device. Click on Add. It automatically found the roller shade. Click on Try Again. On the shade itself, be sure to press on the button. The shade will go up and down. Now it's added successfully. Click on Done. We can update the firmware if you want. I'm going to click on Cancel for now. And now you have full control over the roller shade. Let's click on the three dots on the bottom right-hand corner. Here are some additional options, such as the battery level. Looks like you can set the limits setting here as well. Very interesting that as the shade goes up, it reveals the background. If you want, you can change the background. We can grab the icon right here and pull it up or down. You can press on the up or down arrow to get it moved back to the upper or lower limits. Hit the pause button anytime to pause movement. Let's click on Back to go back to the main menu. Click on Scene to see what's going on there. Create Scene. I guess this is their version of creating automations, which is much more simpler. But again, I don't want to use this app because this is a proprietary app. Click on Home will show the device again. Click on Me will reveal even more options. It seems that it's possible to connect this to Alexa, Google Assistant, or even SmartThings. but I believe you will need the Gray Wind hub sold separately for about $40. I won't be buying, of course. I'm not interested in buying more proprietary app, more proprietary devices. I'll stick to my Home Assistant hub and app. Alright, hopefully you found this video helpful. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and thanks for watching.